Twitch for the Season 15 Division 4B Precap stream. I'm Mattiavi96 and I'll be your host for the rest of the season. I'm going to say that I'm a bit agitated because this is my first time streaming, so I really hope you will enjoy my contents. And small disclaimer, uh, all of the recaps will be on Twitch, and I will then try and upload them on YouTube, but the main focus will be on Twitch. So come in, join the chat, and make sure you tell me everything I'm missing on. No, it's okay though. Also, I will accept any tip about the audio since I've always had trouble testing it. So if you feel like there's something too high or too low, you just need to tell me. My microphone is what it is, so I will try my best to avoid piercing your ears, since this is something I've noticed while I was trying to test my microphone. So, hello everyone. I see Laksha. I hope it's pronounced right because I would pronounce it like Fiat Luxia, but that's the Italian pronounce. So, you maybe want to tell me how to spell it. And Anoraf the goat, refer me to as goat. Yeah, perfect. So goat is definitely more easy, and Fiat is fine. Great. Hopefully, also the other coaches will join us. Otherwise, they will probably recover the stream. So, this is. Oh, I also forgot to change the title of the stream. So, I will ask you guys a second until I fix it. Rebel Division 4B Recap. And yes, all texts are fine and update information. All right, yeah, first mistake, which I will fix for the next streams. Nah, it's fine though. Okay, so let's move on to the main contents of the stream, which will be an introduction, mostly it's an introduction to the teams of this division, which I'm really glad to be part of. We have some really big names, which I really wasn't expecting, which also makes me a bit more anxious about being a good host for the recaps. But also we have really new players, and I really want to see how they will play against some of the more experienced coaches. Okay, let's keep going. As I was saying, introduction about the teams. I'm gonna check the best players of each team. Yeah, Honor of the Goat. Major Bite is part of our division, as well as Chubstep and Erin Zord. So yeah, we have some big names for being in Division 4V. It's just great. And also terrible for our teams, but it's part of the game, right? Okay, and since you're talking about the three teams you have already, the three coaches you have already played against, one of the main points I want to introduce in this stream and keep going for the future streams will be rivalries. About how coaches will find against each other, coaches that have already played against each other. Fiat knows something about this. But also about other rivalries. Sorry, my Italian pronunciation sometimes comes out. About rivalries that are going to catch up and evolve in the course of the season. But also we're going to make a very brief history of the coaches in this division, like what teams they have already played in REBBL and trophies. We have some champions here, so yeah, this is going to be an interesting stream for our precap. Also, you will have to pardon me about a couple of teams which I'm going to struggle to find on the Blood Bowl game, since they haven't accepted their tickets yet, but it's not a problem. They're just gonna take a bit of time. So let's get this thing started. I just need a second to remove all the introduction stuff, and if things are right, Blood Bowl should be up and running now. Yeah, this. So let's go. Let's see. And what? Oh, something's lacking. And of course, yeah, I'm gonna fix it in just a moment. Or maybe not, because I forgot to get. Yeah, exactly. There we are. What would we be without our effects that we have known for the last 4 years? Maybe they are a bit too strong, the sound, so I'm gonna reduce them a bit. Okay, here we are. Yeah, sorry if I have to scroll through my teams. And alright, here we are, Season 15, Division 4B, teams. Alright. Yeah, Fiat. That's something I've seen many discussion about sounds in the game. There's people who plays without music, with music, with YouTube music, or people that remove commentary because they can focus on the game. Other people that need the commentary so they can remove some of the focus and avoid the anxiety during their games. So yeah, that's something. Every coach has his own setup for Blood Bowl, and that's something that has always interested me. All right, let's move to the teams. I'm gonna start with my team, both because it's the team which is first year, but also because once I've talked about myself, I can just stop talking about myself and move to the other people. All right, so the very necromantic necros. I've started this team back in season 9 with the old division system in Division 8G. I didn't play in the introduction seasons because I really wanted to just start with a 1000 TV team in the main competition. And I had go to like Green Horn and stuff. I just prefer to go and straight into the action, and it was a really great season too. I don't know if because I didn't started actually in Green Horn or not, but because like being a 1000 TV team means you are not responsible for your team value management. So somehow that played in my advantage. I had a great first season, and then it went complete disaster all the season later on. But I'm a coach that likes to stick to his own team, so I kept going with the very necromantic necros until today, until season 15. So yeah, there's not much to tell. I had a lot. I've lost a lot, and when I say a lot, I mean a lot of positionals. I lost a lot of flesh golems, a lot of wolves. I haven't lost many ghouls because my team didn't start with ghouls. So ghouls are something new to me, and I've lost a guard ghoul just last season at the last match, which I replaced with a zombie guard. Um, what there is to say about my team. Yeah, it's a 2060 team value team, which is quite a lot. With five rerolls, which I keep because I feel like I always need them, and I usually end up using all of them. So yeah, that's mainly because of that. Some underdeveloped flesh golem here, and uh, very strong flesh golem, which I haven't been able to use as I wanted to. So I feel like I'm lacking on flesh golems, but it's very definitely compensated by this. So as I said, I've lost a lot of wolves in the story of this team, and one of the wolves here, which should be, yeah, all fairness to Tails, was a wolf I bought back in the days when there was still the market. So yeah, and I did all of that for a reason which I will explain later. Yeah, it's true, Goat. Wolves tend to come and go. Thanks, Fiat. Yeah, I also do love my wolf level ups after many seasons of not managing to get a double for the might blow. So, apart from these two wolves jump up, might blow tackle, they have the same development, but this guy is like my MVP, let's call it. It's the leader of the team for now. Is a 126 SPP player, which I hope to get to level 7, and making him a legend. And honestly don't know what skill to pick up next, probably piling on if I manage to get a double. So statistics. Oh, this is something I'm going to do for every team. I'm going to check the best player and check his statistics to give more of a better introduction to the leaders, or as I like to call them, of the teams. So yeah, just 4 MVPs since I got him. 66 matches, nothing too much strange. He killed 6 people already, and that's pretty much there is to say about him. He didn't score too many touchdowns, but still I tried my best to make him do so. And yeah, so that's it. That's my leader, that's my best player in the team, and I hope he doesn't die in the first match. That would be quite embarrassing. Then, Bjorn Legacy Alexander is my other good player. Might Blow, Juggernaut, Grab, which I took because I was tired of dealing with sidestep players. A lot of people discussed about this decision. I also sometimes think that wasn't a great idea, but there are just few times in which it's a great deal to have it. And I also try to always have a tackle block down to the zombie because, yes, it's just about having fun. Yeah, it's true. It also tries to help with one turns. That's real. Although I'm not really great at trying to do them. I'm still learning and I'm still failing, but failing is learning. So yeah. Now, about my team, I have a level 4 stadium, which, to recall what I said earlier, I sold like my best players in order to have a level 4 stadium. Why? Because aesthetic for me is everything. So yeah, also I have a royal box because I like it. There's no real strategic decisions about this. Oh, there are Fiat. There are only 2 coaches with a level 4 stadium. That makes me extremely happy. I had no idea. I thought there were more. So yeah, I had to sold some of my good players. I basically got a terrible season after selling those players, but I still think it's worth it in my opinion because I really love my level 4 stadium. And also the Royal Box is just something I bought both because it looks cool on the stadium and because it gives something that players usually don't see in game. But statistics. So as I said, I had a very great first season, and then it went like disastrous. I'm trying to recover, and I hope to have at least one good season before the next game comes out. So yeah, that's pretty much about it. 21, 16, 41, and an average score of 1, quite classic, with only 21 kills inflicted, which I hope to increase with my Mighty Blow Wolves. So yeah, that's pretty much everything about my team. This was the very necromantic Necros, and strong is the one who persists through bad luck. Alright, now we're going to go to the next teams in order based on how they are here, and then I'm going to search for the teams that are not... Oh, did everyone accept their tickets? No, there's still one team missing. But one she has accepted its ticket just in time for the precap. Well done. So, we're moving next. REBBL Vaporwell. I'm sorry. REBBL Vaporwelves. Lo-fi elves to score touchdowns with. So, this is a 1820 TV team, which is an Elven Union team. And what do we have here? We have let's start with this. So we have a free team reroll team, and of course an apothecary to deal with the armor 7, and 8,000 fans, which is a lot. So about the team, we have this great piece. I think Fiat, you will be with me about saying that this is probably your best player, a strength 4 AG5 elf. It's pretty much unstoppable with nerves of steel and basically everything he needs to get things done. I must admit, Take Hole is not skill I would personally choose, but I can understand why you would take it in general with the Rebel situation of a lot of AG teams using dodge. Okay, so let's check his statistics. He's got 3 MVPs, 40 matches plays, which is quite a lot for a Union, an Elven Union team. And where is the touchdowns? Because that's an elf, and we want to make sure we check on the touchdowns. I can. Here it is. 13 touchdowns. Yeah, that's pretty much understandable since his AG and strength situation. And he sure resisted a lot of injuries because 62 injuries and not a dent in its statistics. So yeah, that's great. Yeah, Fiat is saying that it's a shame you rolled all the stats after the takeover, really. Else you'd get Leap by now. I agree. I definitely agree. Leap would be making quite a mess in the enemy's defense because, you know, unless you're dealing with a lot of guard, you'd be pretty much inside every single cage you could get in with. And after Leap, you would probably have taken Strip Ball, I guess. But, you know, this is a good catcher and secker player. I think, yes, his potential is so much high that he can quite literally carry the team. Alright, for the rest of the team, we have a Blitzer guard with diving tackle, always useful, and we have a Nerves of Steel lineman, which I guess it's mostly for Randolphs to deal with passes, and which makes a lot of sense considering Elven Union teams. We have another strength 4 catcher, which is great since the more strength you have, the harder it is to take him down. Sure, it compensates the lack of block, but I do agree with this decision. Then we have some Blodger lineman AG3, which I guess is going to be the main piece to keep on the LOS. And another strength 4 lineman, which is a miss next game, or yeah, it's a miss next game. So he's going to start his season a bit after. He's going to come back from his holidays a little too late, but it's fine. And then we have a dirty player and a kick guy. So yeah, that's a good team, a well-rounded team. It has a lot of potential, mostly about dodging, passing, and all those things most of Bash teams surely can do, but also hybrid teams are going to be dealing with. And unless you'll have to deal with a lot of tackle, you should be good to go. Yeah, goat, elf things. Quite scary if you think about it. So, to the next team, Roughing the Ref by Fueger. I hope it's pronounced like that. It's a goblin team. Oh, wait, before we do that, before we move to the next team, I'm sorry if I was forgetting about this. As I said, we were talking about the history of some of the coaches. So, first things first, we're going to check the statistics. I forgot, I won't forget next time, I'm sorry. But the statistic, we see 13 wins, 9 draws, 22 losses. If I remember correctly, Fiat, you had one very bad season and one fairly average season after your first season. So, similar to my team, you had a good starting season, which then slightly turned into a lot of bad dices, and it's a feeling I can understand very well. But that's it. Okay, so now that's really it about the team, with a total of 55 touchdown scores and 4 kills. Now about the story of a coach named Fiat. Yeah, I remember last season was very hard on you, and I do agree that you deserve better than that. This season you should be more lucky. I really hope for your team. But about your story in Rebel, you started back in season 11, if I'm correct, and you started with a team called Your 5 a Day, which was another Elven Union team. I don't know the history about that team, but I'm quite sure you rerolled for very specific reasons. I mean, with elves, they tend to get destroyed if they don't start right. So I can understand why would you, yeah, exactly. You rerolled because it died. Yeah, that's totally understandable. So yeah, that's you started in Division 5e, and then you moved on next season with your actual Elven Union team. And yeah, so that's your story in Rebel. Let's hope and let's cheer for a future as for your future as a Rebel coach. All right, now we're moving to Gobos. Rough in the Ref by Fuiger. So as you can see, just by the first screen, Rough in the Ref with a 1060 team value team misses quite a bit of pieces as I was checking this afternoon. See no evil, feel no evil. That's the team's motto. And so let's get started. He has 3 rerolls, 1 apothecary, and 5,000 fans. As you can see, his 2 best players are the troll and this goblin. So I'd say that this goblin and this troll are like the 2 best players, but still this troll rolled a lot of stats, so I'd call him the leader of the team. This guy is pro, which is great against loner, which is great for always hungry, which is great for throw, and still really stupid. Like it's a very nice skill, and strength plus just makes him even better when dealing with enemies. Still, I don't see a skill that is going to help him throw gobos, so I would expect a strong arm as next skill if he aims to do a lot of gobbo throwings, which I always love. Fiat says that he would have taken block on that pro troll instead of strength 6. Mm, I agree. I honestly, as I was saying, rather than strength 6, I also would have taken something more for gobbo throwing and leave the strength builds, the hitting builds on the other troll. But hey, it's his choice, and I'm sure he's going to still deal a great damage on the enemy team. Like, this looks like a great piece who's going to be fairly reliable for a big guy. All right, and let's check his statistics. So he had no MVP until now, so everything he's got was through these 24 injuries, as we were talking just about now. Oops, I pressed the wrong button. So yeah, he just sustained 1 injury, which didn't mean anything. So yeah, that's a very hangry throw, very hangry and pro throw. Also, I guess we're going to see a lot of Ronnie knows actions being thrown, stealing the ball, and do all the stuff before he dies. No, let's hope he's going to entertain us with a lot of interesting actions. What we are seeing here is a 10 players team, with one being a secret weapon guy. So his start will be a bit hard unless he expends some of the treasury to get some more players. Because otherwise he'll probably end up with very few players, at least for the start of the season, for the first matches. So the statistics of this team are 3-4-5, 3 wins, 4 draw, 5 losses, which lead us to the history of this coach. He started in season 14 in the training rounds, and then played for, I guess, a part of season 14 Division 5N. I don't know if he played all the matches. I don't think he did. I mean, he surely played 1 season by sort of counting the numbers. However, I'm not sure. So yeah, that's a good. Yeah, Fiat. I agree to the fact that it's a good record for a Goblin team, for at least for a new, fairly new Goblin team, just a 1 season returning Goblin team. So I'm just checking the chat so I'm not missing anything. All right. Yeah, I agree on the 7 yards in 12 games. That's quite a lot. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the history of Fuiger as a Rebel coach. Let's check his club. Also, sorry Fiat, I'm going to go back again to your team. I swear I won't make these mistakes again. I'm going to back to your team to watch your stadium. So, Gobbo's stadium, it's called Fall Academy. It has an awful altar, which makes a lot of sense for an Underworld Denizens team. And yeah, that's pretty much it. No sponsor. You should sign one. These teams needs the money. As I was saying, I'm going just fairly fast going back to Laxia to check his stadium, which is a level 3 stadium called Saint Pepsi Memorial, and it has a magician shop. So both teams will have a wizard. Alright, moving on to Graf Billy's Vendetta of Beer Monkey. This is a Chaos team which I had the joy of reviewing earlier. It's a 1580 TV team value team with quite a lot of treasury if you want to make some changes before the first match. And there's no team motto, so I'm not going to read that. Let's move to the team roster. Free real standard 7,000 fans and the apothecary. So what we're seeing here is a very well-rounded, fairly defensive chaos team. You can see his focus is on black, which makes a lot of sense, and it's a very responsible choice for a chaos team. Surely not a choice that every chaos coach agrees with, but in my opinion, it makes a lot of sense since it makes your team reliable. And in REBBL, especially in the playoff kind of league, you need that's something you need. So I would say with no modest issue that the best player he's got right now is Killer, which is a well-rounded, fairly standard Beastman killer with Block, Mighty Blow, Claw, 4 Tigors, which has 2 MVPs and 24 injuries and nothing much more to say because he's a killer and his point is killing things, and I'm sure he's going to be great at this in the next season. Probably next year, next skill will probably be Tackle as well. The other players of his team, so we have 4 Chaos Warrior. Yeah, okay, sorry. We have 4 Chaos Warrior with a Strength plus, which is great. So he has basically one black big guy, very reliable with an AG3 because Chaos Warriors are just great. And a lot of guards, which are going to help all the blocks, which are going to come from the Beastmans. We see Myrak Reborn, who is still waiting for his level up, and I'm sure he's the ball carrier, so I would expect something to help him carrying the ball, like dodge if he rolls doubles, or sure ends if he doesn't. For rest, yeah, there's an injured player, which I'm sure it's a misnest game. No, it's a niggling injury, so we have a niggled Beastman in the team. I'm sure he's going to deal with it just fine. Alright, I think I've lost connection for a bit there, so I hope I'm still streaming. Okay. Yeah, especially against all these elves. You won't take all on... yeah, thanks, Fiat. I was just making sure because I still have to figure out some of the settings for the stream. Yeah, he's going to need tackle on that killer because there's a lot of dodge in this competition. He has a lot of block, which a lot of elves don't have. So he kinda compensated, but I think he's still going to struggle against the dodging team for this season. So let's see stadium. It's called the Bridge. It's a level 2 stadium with a beer stand, so I'm sure he wants to surf a lot. It's right? Yeah, exactly, yeah. So it's the one that when you're pushed, the crowd goes wild because it's drunk, just like me when I'm sad. Alright. So yeah, however, in this specific division, I don't know how he's going to play with or against him having a beer stand. There are 2 Necro teams, and as I've seen, there's a lot of people who like to surf. So you'll have to be very careful about the decisions he make. And yeah, as Fiat is saying right now, he needs a frenzy piece. A frenzy piece with which would probably be the strength 4. I would go for the strength 4, or otherwise oh, there it is. I'm sorry, I didn't see him before. I'm sorry. There's Gregory Kilgore, which is probably going to be his main surfer for making that beer stand worth its value. Yeah, I agree, Fiat. He probably needs a bit more surfing alchemy in his team if he wants to make this beer stand more worth than dangerous. Let's check his statistics. So this is a positive streak team. He has 12, 7, 11 with an average score of 1, 6 kills until now, which is kind of expected having just one killer on his Cavs team, and 39 touchdowns, which is a fair number of kills. So, being statistics, let's check the history of this coach. There's not really much to say. He started in Season 14 Training Grounds G and then moved to Season 14 Division 5N. So it's a one-season returning team. And this should be all for Beer Monkey's team Graph Billy's Vendetta. Alright, then we are moving on to Men or Muppets by Chubstep. Oh, this is going to be a good one. So, this is a human team, as you can see. Am I a man or am I a Muppet? Good question, Chubstep, good question. So, it's a 1740 team with a 150k of team value. And I really am surprised by reading level 90. Sorry, my eyes got stuck on this. So, let's move to the team roster. It's a free reroll team with one apothecary and 5,000 fans, which is quite the norm for a human team. It's it's a human team, so as you can expect, you will see a lot of variety in the roles and everyone trying to do something in a specific. I would say that this ogre is like a great killer. He has mighty blow, tackle, block. He basically just lacks pro and is going to be an absolute beast with just one MVP and 16 injuries. He feels like a fairly reliable piece to have on the pitch. Let's see. The best piece he has, I would fairly say that this killer is well rounded, but having a strength 4 lineman with guard, having a catcher, it's quite hard to choose one. It's really hard to choose one specific player to be the leader, but I would say that with two stats on the I mean two doubles on the ogre, making him basically a tackling killer, keeping people in place with the help of all these guards. I would say that he is quite the leader of the team. All the other stats feels great. Two wrestle linemen together with a dirty player lineman. It's a good. There's some very good chemistry in this team, and I'm quite sure Chubstep, being an experienced coach, will make the best of it. Yeah, strength 4 guard is great. I believe with stand firm maybe is going to be quite the pain for his opponents. Alright, let's move to the stadium. This is a level 1 stadium, there's no sponsor, no contract, no announcement, and the name is twitch.tv slash the Chubstep, which is fairly understandable since he streams like the pro he is, making REBBL a better place. Alright, so let's move to statistics. So the statistics of this team are 8, 10, 11, with an average score of 0, which I do believe he struggled a bit in the season he played with this team. With this average score of 0 and 28 touchdown score, I do believe Chubstep is looking for some redeem, to be redeemed here for his team and for the defense of this team. And I'm sure he's going to make some very great actions to try and restore, if not the name of the team, at least these statistics. So I do believe that where we don't see now great statistics, we are going to see great experience on the field. And talking about experience, Chubstep has quite a great history in REBBL. So, of course, he has been a huge Jacketman competitor for the Cup. He has played in the REBBL 1 Minute League, and he has played with at least two other teams. He started at least following REBBL stats, but there might be something I'm missing, of course. He started in Season 9 with a necromantic team called Necromuppets, in Season 9 Division 5, and then in Season 12 he re-rolled to a dwarf team called the Dwarf Electric Mayhem. He played it for a season, and then for Season 13 he re-rolled his actual human team. So this is a two-season returning G-Man team. And I'd say this is everything for Chubstep team. So, moving on. Dark Mode FTW by Major Byte. So, of course, I want to say that I know this might be biased, but I really do appreciate the work that Major Byte does for REBBL. I literally couldn't say anything about this team if it wasn't for him and for all the people that support him. So, yeah, that's a thank you, Major Byte, for the great work you do for REBBL. Now, let's move to your team. So it's Dark Mode FTW, and there's no team motto, so nothing to read. It's a 1810 team value team, and let's move for more details. So it has three rerolls, one apothecary, and 7,000 fans. Fiat. I'm not going to read that comment. So, let's see. This is a very well developed Dark Elf team. I really do enjoy it. This player, this Witch Elf, is just great. She does everything. She scores. She hits players. She is probably the one who's going to try and both steal the ball and score mostly. So yeah, she is definitely the leader of this team with her movement allowance plus, which is great considering that witches start with jump up. She has block, take hold, and a bit of friendly, as usual. So she has 3 MVPs and 6 passes and 7 catches, which is something to definitely consider about the playstyle of this player. And just 1 kill, but 32 injuries inflicted. So yeah, she's one hell of a player to deal with, and I'm sure she's going to make a mess of the opponents she's going to find herself against with. And yeah, as Goat is making me notice, Rejects 101 is probably the Sakharov a Major Byte team. With leap and strip ball, she's a cage diver, so we're going to see a lot of leaps into cages and pushes just to make the ball fall down. Great, yeah, that's a perfect Saker. Saker. I still don't know how to pronounce that. And then we see this Strength 4 Blitzer, which is simply great, with another Strength 4 Blitzer and Mighty Blow, so you can see there's going to be a lot of violence coming from this elf team. We don't really see ball carrier player unless you want to consider the witch elves, but you can see right it really doesn't need to have a specific ball carrier with a team like this. All right, so we are moving to his stadium. No announcement, no sponsor. So many teams with no sponsor. No announcement, no sponsor, and its stadium is called Soft. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So statistics of this team. We can see a win-loss fair ratio with a 979 streak. So it's 9 wins, 7 draw, 9 losses with an average score of 1, 4 kills, 21 casualties. All pretty much standard. Maybe a bit underwhelming if you actually look at the team roster. But that's fair enough for the story of this team. So let's move to watch and listen to Major Byte history. So, well, Major Byte is another UG Jackman competitor of the Cup. He has played in the REBBL Rubble Mixer and in the REBBL 1 Minute League, and he has a long story way back in REBBL. So he started, at least for what I know, in Season 4, Division 4 with his Norse team. I've heard a lot of stories about his Norse team. I've heard about how his Norse team was not his team by itself, but it was one of the teams which made the admins change the structure and how promotions and demotions works now in REBBL. If I remember correctly, he was like always in the top divisions, but since his team was fairly beaten up, he would not enjoy playing in it. And this is not just his team, but also other teams were like this. So the admins found a way to make divisions more fair and making them more make more sense about the division and about the promotion and demotions about how the whole REBBL structure works. So yes, he started with let's go back and let's say that he started in season 4 division 4 with his Norse team called Alvi, and I hope I'm saying correctly, until season 12 division 5B, where he played with an all lineman Norse team. I don't know if it was an official team or if it was like filling an empty player box team, but I've heard stories about someone getting fairly beaten up by that all lineman Norse team. So yeah, that was him for season 12. So you can see season 4 to season 12 until season 13, where he rolled his actual team in Division 5J, and he's still playing to this day. So it's a 2-season old returning team. And that's pretty much all for Major Byte coach and his team Dark Mode sorry, FTW. Yeah, that fun escaped my mouth. I'm sorry. I don't have the censor button. So, moving up to Axion All Stars. I hope Draconius will come and say how to pronounce his team name. So, the All Stars from the Draconius. It's a Norse team, and it's a 1460 team value team with no team motto. So, it's a free reroll, 1 apothecary, 7,000 fans, and I'd say he chose to not have a Yeti. I do agree with his decision, even if I do love the Yeti. So the Yeti would have been probably great in this specific division with all the elves we have, because disturbing presence. But oh wait, no, I'm sorry. What? Oh, it's here. I'm used to have it on the first position, but it's actually here, and it's actually with Mighty Blow, so yeah, it's a standard Yeti with Mighty Blow. It's actually great to have him, also close to level up. I'm sorry about not seeing before. As you can see, I didn't carefully watch all the teams before doing the stream. So yeah, he has a Yeti, and it's a fairly standard Yeti. Fiat, I mean, the Yeti is it's a choice. It's a lifestyle. The Yeti, for me, it's a lifestyle. When I play my Norse team, I do like to have him because it's like, so if he doesn't move, he still doesn't lose his he still doesn't lose his how do you call it? I don't remember. His tackle zones. So I mean, it's a great blitzing piece for when you want to claw those damn armors, and it's great with dwarfs. His only issue is the armor rate. So it's you can choose, in my opinion. Anyway, let's talk about the team. I'd say that one of his best players, like its best players, is definitely a Robert McCall, which is a runner with the usual block and dauntless skill, and then dodge, sidestep, agility, nerves of steel, jump up. So he's a ball carrier, ball catcher, guy that handoffs the ball, guy that receives the ball, basically the ball guy. He's definitely the one to go with to score touchdowns, and the rest of this team is there to support him. So I would say that this guy is definitely the leader of the team. Yeah, exactly, Fiat. Basically a pro elf catcher with all the trimmings, correct. So he has a 3 MVPs, 25 matches, 21 touchdown scores, and of course very few casualties and kills, because of course it's the ball handler. Let's see how many. He sustained 23 injuries and is still without a dent. So yeah, he's a great player, and I'm sure we're going to see a lot of actions from him, especially because all these skills, except Dauntless, but you know it's a runner. All these skills and the movement 7 and jump up is going to make great things for his team. So yeah, I'm going to say that he is the leader. Then we have this killer, clearly the killer piece, with I guess an Inglig injury, but it's fine because it's just going to pile on his players, so he doesn't really care about it. Another Inglig injury on the Ulf Werner, but it's fine because it's strength 4 and block, so it's fairly reliable. And then some injured Norse, which is always quite the usual stuff considering Norse. We can see here armor value 5 with his skull being fractured 2 times. Maybe if we zoom in, we can see. No, we can't zoom in. I was thinking that maybe we could see the fracturing of his skull. Yeah, that is that is one hell of a hit. I'm sorry if I don't have chat moderating tools right now. I'm going to set them up later on. For now, just ignore the spam guys. Now let's move on to club. So his stadium is called the Axion Field. I really hope he's going to tell me how to pronounce this. Axion Field, a level 1 field, of course, no announcement, and the Circle of Happy Serenity as sponsor. Now, for his statistics, we can see 8 wins, 6 draws, 12 losses, and thanks Fiat and Goat, it's pronounced Action. So yeah, Action All Stars. Thank you guys for reaching to me about this, so I can finally pronounce it correctly. So he's Action Field. Great. About the story of his team. So we have an 8-6-12 with an average of 1 score and 10 kills and 31 touchdown scores. We can see 7 catches. I don't see passes, so I guess I'm terrible at this. No, I mean, there's probably passes somewhere over here. I didn't check, and I really want to check pass stats about this guy. So 2 passes and 4 catches. Okay, I was expecting a bit more, seeing the development of this team, but makes sense. It's still Norse. It's still made to hit. So, as we said, it's 6-12, and let's check the history of Draconius. Draconius has been playing in the in the Rookie League, REBBL Rookie League, I guess it's pronounced, the REBBL. With a lot, for a lot of time, I've seen a lot of teams, which for time reasons, I'm not going to go through all of them. But yeah, I grew up in the Rookie League until finally in season 13 he joined the experienced players with his actual team back in season 13, Division 5J. And that's pretty much it for Draconia's team. Next one. Ooh, this is a good one. Herring Zord with his new team. It should be a one season returning team if I'm correct. High Tune Hustlers, an IELF team. Howdy the lads! So, well, I guess most of us know Herring Zord from the REBBL community, and now he's playing with a 1750 human team. So let's go into details for Herring Zord. He has 3 rerolls, 1 apothecary, and 8,000 fans. And, well, there's not really too much to say about his team, except the fact that, as most of the teams we've seen until now, it's like very, very well-rounded. And when I say well-rounded, I mean every player's focus, and there's no unbalancing, there's no strange skills, but there's a lot of chemistry about how they're going to do things. The thrower is there to throw, and these catchers. Okay, this one is strange, maybe. Mighty Blow catchers might be a bit more interesting, but yeah, that's pretty much what would you expect from an IELF team, where every player can be a star. So we can see a diving tackle blitzer with 51 SPPs, and which is his most skilled players. But I would say that his best players right now for an IELF team is John Way Beresford. Why I say this? Because most of his passes are just going to go great, and good luck trying to stop the elves from passing and scoring, unless you're an Argo. So, what do we know about this player? He has 0 MVPs, but he has 19 passes and just 1 catch, which I probably guess it was an handoff. You don't expect kills, so of course he still injured 2 players, and he sustained 18 injuries, which he came from just right, so no troubles for it. While talking about interesting players, we see Batch Gazady, which is a catcher with Mighty Blow and Block and Catch. So this is an interesting piece. You can use it in many ways. It's clearly the team killer. You roll double, got Mighty Blow, movement 8, strength 3, AG4. You just need some assist and is ready to hit players and take the ball while he's there. Thank you for joining, Fiat, and see you around in the next recap stream or on Discord. And good luck with your D&D session. So, moving on, let's see his stadium. So, his stadium is called High Tune Saloon, and it has a squig sandwich kiosk, which basically deletes throw a rock and get ref. I do understand this because losing elves, especially high elves, to rocks is awful, and they are terrible to replace. So it makes sense. Also, get the ref makes sense to reduce fouling. High elves are expensive. High elves have a lot of potential, but losing them usually hurts you a lot. Let's see his statistics. He has a positive record with 8 wins, 3 draws, 5 losses. You can see an average score of 1 for the team, quite standard. He inflicted 3 kills, so you don't expect a lot of kills from High Elves. You can see a lot of touchdowns, you can see a hell of a lot of successful catches. And that's pretty much all what you would expect from an High Elf team. Now, going to Herringzord story. And this is one great story because he is the champion of the REBBL Mixer Season 1 back in 2019. He started playing REBBL in Season 3, Division 2, and then he changed a lot of teams. He had many teams. I don't think I can discuss without taking the whole night. until he reached the one of his most, if not his most famous team in Season 8, Division 6C, his Camry team called the United Arab Emirates. For those who have followed Twitch in general, who followed REBBL on Twitch, you probably do know this name or remember this team. This team had like great had some very great seasons, and I'm sure Herringzord had a lot of fun playing with them. Exactly because he started in season 8, and right off in season 9, he managed to get to the playoffs with his team. So yes, we have a champion and a former playoff competitor in our 4B division. And so yeah, he played in the playoffs in season 9. I don't think he was the champion. I think someone else won, but they were still in the playoffs. And he kept playing his Camry team until season 13 in Division 2A. So then he rolled a new team, which is his actual team, in season 14 for Division 5A. So his actual team is a one season returning team. And that's the story about Herringzord. Hope he is going to have fun in our division, while he recaps, if I'm correct, G-Man Division 1. Alright, and moving on to Heroes of Times Heroes of Times Forgotten by Honorov. So it's your team, Goat. Thank you for sticking with me, chat. So, all heroes from long ago, but just random corpses. Okay, so it's a 1530 undead team, and let's get into the details. So it's a free team reroll team with 7,000 fans, and of course he's Necromancer. So he has a very useful wit with guard, so even if his main killing piece, especially for this season with a lot of dodge, I would say that his whole situation here is one where rather than having just one specific killer, you have four very good players making like a good formation for making the enemy scared, to say the least, because you have three mighty blows with, of course, the strength 5 mummies with guard and one mummy with break tackle, so you can get your guard in a lot of great places. Of course, this week is just going to run and bash through all the dodgy pesky elves you are going to meet your team with. And yeah, I was watching your team. I was screening your team before starting the stream, and I've noticed that you have two ball carrier ghouls, which is the first time I see, and I think it's a great decision. I mean, ghouls tend to die, and there's no apothecary for them, so and no region. So while I do not agree with it, yeah, one tends to get KO'd. I agree because armor 7 gets broken easily. So while I do agree having two ball carriers, I still do believe one of the ghouls should be a ball sacker, but that's just my personal opinion about it. And but still, it means you have more reliability on picking up the ball, keeping the ball, caging the ball more correctly, not being too scared of handling the ball from one goal to the other, or from one goal to the weak if you have enough turns. Yeah, exactly. I see this wrestling ghoul for being the ball sacker, I guess. It's still early in his development, but he surely have the chances because you have a Gargoyle, and this Gargoyle is going to make great things if he manages to get block, because he desperately needs either block or wrestle to not get destroyed. However, he's on the good run for it. Just always be careful about team value. Undeads have this issue, like necromantic teams. Then we have a dirty player, which makes sense for a team made of zombies. So I would say for now, the leader of your team is surely Oswald the Villain. Almost got me there saying villain. So he has guard, mighty blow, take all, as we said. Normal stats. He has 2 MVP, a couple of passes, which means he was in some strange situation at least once, or maybe you just had the time to get him some SPPs. Of course, 11 casualty inflicted, and he's still waiting for his first kill, but I'm sure with all these elves lying around, you are going to find your target. So, all but one of those zombies are kills. Oh! Well, that makes it way more interesting. So you're telling me that most of these zombies are just free recruits. Recruits who kinda voluntarily join your team. Okay, so your statistics, it's 6 wins, 5 draw, 5 losses, so it's positive, and it's on a good way to make more wins. You have sustained 1 death. Maybe you want to talk to me about that if you're in chat, if you're interested. Maybe it was just a zombie, maybe it was a positional. But I'm interested if you remember. So let's see, 1 average of score and 7 kills inflicted, which I guess we were talking about the zombies you had before. Oh, okay, it was a dead zombie. Yeah, well, it's what they are there for. Okay, let's check your history now. Totally stalking my favorite players. Alright, and now my file got a bit mixed up. There it is. Alright, so you have quite a history on REBBL 2. You're not new to this thing. You started in Season 7, Division 4B, with your old Nargle team, Brutal Geometry. And then you kept playing it until Season 11, Division 5F, where you rolled a human team called Backhand Bashing Boomers. And then you played it for 2 seasons, and then you rolled and at Season 13, where you played in Division 5F with Woody's Workshop, the Wood Elves, where I guess you didn't have much fun with the best catcher in the world, the Yumis or the Wood Elves? I'll wait for your answer, because I'm now very curious. Yumis, all right, yeah. When you get that thrower catcher chemistry with human teams, you just feel so great. When you manage to get that strong arm accurate thrower and that catch nerves of steel AG plus and whatever catcher, like it's the best feeling in the world for being Yumis, because you have these 2 players and you know they are going to do great things. Especially because people tend to discriminate human teams. The catcher was a natural 1-turn touchdown piece. Oh yeah, that's just great. Having a 1-turn touchdown piece on humans, or in general, having a great piece on humans, like a very specialized piece on humans, is just so satisfying to play that I can understand why you liked it. So let's keep rolling with your history. As we said, Season 13 Division 5F with the Woodies, and then you move to Season 14 with your actual team, where you played in Division 5B, and you are now returning to play with us again. That's great. So this is your team. This was your team Precap, and I hope I'm thankful that you stick with me in the chat, and let's move on to the next team. Oh, no, we don't. I forgot about checking your stadium. The Immortal Arena, a level 1 Camry Stadium, makes sense, with a Spike magazine sponsor. Great. Alright, now it's all done. So, next team, Red Bull Surfing by Wan Chi. I hope it's pronounced Wan Chi. So, it's 1,600 Chaos Dwarfs. Please sponsor me at Red Bull. You know, If Aces sponsored Blood Bowl, I'm sure Red Bull can sponsor your team, Wanchi. I'm sure of it. You just need to make some public relations. So, let's move to the team roster. 3 team rerolls, 1 apothecary, 8,000 fans, and a very, very scary Chaos Dwarf team. What do we have here? So we have Bull Centaurs, one with Tackle, both with Break Tackle, Mighty Blow, Block. They're just great pieces overall. With, of course, Utkal Red Bull being the leader of the team. Since he has the most SPPs, let's check. 2 MVPs, 2 passes, 1 catch. I guess there's somewhere pickup statistics, but it's not shown here. And what do we have here? 13 touchdowns scored. Makes sense for all the SPP he has, and 19 injuries. So yeah, all what you would expect from a Chaos Dwarf team. Then we have this Claw Mighty Blow Chaos Dwarf, which is his main killer piece, I guess. Great for clawing against armors. Although, except for big guys, for now I've only seen elves. So I'm sure all this tackle is going to come in handy for this season, and this guard is always useful. You can see is a ball carrier Hobgoblin over here, and 1 kicker and 1 dirty player. So this team is set up nicely for the starting of the new season. Is stadium. We are seeing the Red Bull Arena, and with a quick sandwich kiosk where people can enjoy their Red Bulls and absolutely not throwing rocks and hitting the ref, probably being too good on Red Bull. Then we have the Spike magazine sponsor. His statistic is, I was looking at it before, and it's just great, like 11 wins, 3 draws, 2 losses. I would expect a lot from this coach from this season, both because of his team and because of his record. So we have the classic 1 average score, we have 29 touchdown scores, and we have 43 casualties and 5 kills. So yeah, that's some really good really good stuff here, some really entertaining stuff we're going to see from this team. Now, about the history of Wanchi. Let's check. So yeah, his history is not his history in Rebel is fairly new. So he started in season 14, Division 5D, after the play-ins in Division 8. So he, as we were saying, Division 5D, season 14, he started play this season. As I would say, that went great by watching his statistics, and then he started this season. So he's a 1 season returning team, and a lot of potential, and a lot of I can do this, and a lot to show us. All right, on to the next team. Corbor with his got 2-head eagles underworld denizens team. So, fly like a bird. Okay, I'm sorry. It's 1,470 team value, underworld denizens team, and let's go into the details. He has 4 rerolls, 1 apothecary, 4,000 fans, which I'm sure they will grow, hopefully, for his team. And what do we have here? We have a Warpstone Troll with Claw, Might Blow, usual standard Killing Troll build. Then we have this 2-head, it's a 2-head Gobbo, which is going to make dodges for him a lot easier. I think this team will kinda suffer against one Chi team, but I'm sure he'll manage it somehow. And let's see, who would we say his best player is? I'd say it's this Caven Thrower, because the rest of the team is pretty fairly balanced on skills. So yeah, this thrower has this stat up, so recovering the ball, especially at the kickoff, is going to be fairly more easier. It's better for passings because you can get closer with 1 less GFI. and with no injuries, we can expect to see him handling the ball a lot. So let's see, 0 MVPs, 0 passes still. So we do it. Maybe I'm going to see him more like a ball carrier rather than a ball thrower. And I guess the other guy is going to throw the ball. 1 KO, 5 injuries inflicted, 0, and yeah, pretty much all standard, if not a bit low on stats, but we're going to see how he's going to play this team in this season. Then, of course, he has this killer piece, which is quite great. I don't remember if Underwood Denizens can get a claw on Skaven Blitzers. I think they do. Yeah, exactly. The thrower or the blitzer, yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much. There's not much to say about the quantity of two heads in this team. So he's going to dodge through a lot using his stunties and hopefully taking the ball away from his team. You can see, I guess this one is going to be a LOS punch bag, and I would love to see a dirty player on this team because 14 players, it's going to pump up your team value, and being mostly goblins, you know you want to get some key players out. All right, so moving on to his stadium. It's called the Albershot. It's a stadium level 2 with a Nuffle altar, which makes sense for gobos, and no sponsor. So for a statistic, this one is a 444, so I cannot really predict how his season will go. As I said, I'm just a bit scared for him facing a 1-chi team, so if he faces him later on, he has better hopes, while if he faces 1-chi teams earlier on, he risks some very bad injuries. So let's see about the stats of his team. 1 average score, 2 kills, 12 touchdowns, and 108 injuries inflicted. Well, that's a lot. I admit, by watching the team, I didn't expect to see a stat like that. So yeah, that's quite a lot of injuries for a 12 matches team. I must agree that yeah, this number is very high. So about the story of Korbor, let's check. Korbor is a fairly new coach. It's a returning team of one season. He played in season 14 Division 5J and is a returning team. So that's pretty much it about his REBBL coach story. All right. So next, I'm missing something? No. Okay. Next, we have the Big Wolf Rescue by Rideable Llama. It's a necromantic team, and I want to say that I'm going to compete with this team because I do like to compete with other necromantic teams when they are in my own division. So, Big Wolf Rescue. Hey, all you cool pups and dogs. Alright, so it's a 15,000 team value team. 1,500, sorry, team value team. And let's go into the details. It's a 3-team reroll team with 6,000 fans. Is the usual necromancer, and let's check his positionals because necros love their doggos. So he has a strength 4 werewolf, which is great. He's going to absolutely wreck the opposition, and without too much fear of being hit back because you need support or you need a big player. He kinda needs dodge, in my opinion, because it's a very expensive piece, and you want him to survive, and you really don't keep him on the LOS. So I think you want something to increase his survivability. Wolves tend to die. I know something about that. And then he has a standard block dodge take all wolf, in which I expect he's waiting to roll doubles. So I'd say definitely the leader of this team is Howard the Furry. Yeah, as we said, with his strength plus, with his mighty blow and block, he has one MVP and pretty much standard numbers like 13 injuries, but 8 touchdowns, which is great because it means a lot of SPPs, which led him to be the great piece he is being right now. Okay, so we are moving up to the club. It's called the Sanctuary. It's a level 1 stadium with no sponsor. Okay, moving to statistics. He has a record of 5 wins, 1 draw, 6 losses, but which doesn't tell us really much about how this next season is going to be. So it's like a white painting waiting to be actually painted. I don't remember the name in English about the painting things, but it's not a problem. So his team caused 3 kills, he has an average of 1 score, and he had a lot of yards running because of course wolves, 31 casualties, and yeah, that's pretty much all what you would want from a necromantic team. He has 2 guard flash golems, which is great because they are always useful for wicks. He has a killing weight, which I guess he's just waiting for piling on, and another wick which is I guess waiting for tackle before piling on. Just 1 ghoul, which I do expect it's the ball carrier and a black zombie. I do hope to see some dirty player here too. I really wish to see that in the next future of this team. Alright, I guess that's it. Just 1 second. I want to make sure. Okay, yes, I didn't forget anything about this. Now, let's move on to REBBL Forever by the Dusk Bunny. It's a Skaven team. It's a 1420 team value team with no mottos, so we're going to move up next. Oh, no, I forgot. Sorry. Yeah, I got distracted. The story about REBBL Llama. REBBL Llama is a quite long history, not a new coach to REBBL, to say. So he started in season 9, Division 8F, with his team, the Big Bark Bowlers, which was another necromantic team, and then he rolled in season 11, Division 5G, a team called the Blazing Whiskers, which was Underworld Denizens. Then again, in season 13, Division 5K, he moved on to Norse with his team, the Gory Deep, and then he rolled in season 14, Division 5N, his new necromantic team. So it's a return to his origins. And good luck to this necromantic coach. Alright, as I was saying, the Dusk Bunny, REBBL Forever. 1420 team value team, and let's go into the details. 3 team reroll, 1 apothecary, 7000 fans. So we see quite a bit of injuries, but nothing too important for alignments. You can deal with it, especially with the guard. Sure, sometimes you have to GFI to get that guard in the right spot, but I'm sure you can deal with it. And what about else? So there's an AG4 gutter runner called Sark, which I would say is definitely the best player of the team. So AG1, Dauntless, Wrestle, you can use him for pretty much a lot of stuff. You can use it to carry ball, handle the ball, pass, and sacking, and pretty much doing everything. Of course, the problem of having a piece like this is that you have to protect him, and the apothecary is mainly to save him. So we will see if he can get us some good Blood Bowl action before getting injured. Let's hope he doesn't get injured. So let's see stats. 0 MVPs, so everything he's got so far is through his sheer abilities. 12 matches played, 3 passes, 2 catches, 10 touchdowns, 10 blocks, and a lot of yards running. So yeah, all what you want on a gut runner, on a ball handling gutter runner. About the other pieces, we can see his main killing piece with an injury, which is just a miss next game, so he's going to come back from his holidays a bit too late, but nothing too serious. And yes, everything else seems quite in the norm and ready to play another season. Maybe he probably needs to keep his team value in check. I know you need a lot of linemen because rats tend to die fast, but at the same time you don't want to leave too much team value to your opponent, otherwise you get splattered way more fast. I didn't check the other stuff though. I pressed back too early. So, the stadium is called the Rat Cave. It's a level 1 stadium and it's got no sponsor. His streak is a great 9-1-2 streak, which makes him a team to be feared on paper because I still don't know about. I don't know much about him as a coach, but if this streak speaks for him, then we're going to see a lot of intelligent Skaven plays. Yeah, a lot of good plays from a Skaven coach. Yes, it has a 2 touchdown average score, which is one of the greatest I've seen so far in this recap. And he's got just 1 kill, so his killing pieces need to train a bit more hard about hitting stuff better. And he has 84 injuries inflicted, so it kinda compensate these two stats. Still, we want more kills from the Skavens before they get killed, to say the least. So, the story about the Dusk Bunny. I had some troubles recovering his history because REBBL.net wasn't cooperating and helping me in this. So all I know about it is that he started in Season 14 Division 5L with this team and is now returning to the pitch after what I'd say was a great season. Alright, so these are the teams that actually accept their tickets, and now I need to find the last one, the last team, which is still waiting for his, which we are still waiting for his ticket to be accepted, which I need to find somewhere around here. Exactly, it's Morales ESP with his team Sigmar Blood Knights Rebel. It's a human team of a team value which is 2,310, which is like a lot. It's so much team value. This team is, just looking at it, is so expensive. I feel bad for the sponsor that's paying for it. So his motto is glory in combat, which makes sense. Let's see his team. So, as you would expect from a 2000 etc. team value, you can find a 5-team reroll. You can see 5-team rerolls, which is just like my team, and it kind of makes sense for humans to have a lot of rerolls, maybe 4, but personal decision. So 5-team rerolls, which are great because you can fairly reroll everything at least every turn. And you can see the apothecary, you can see a lot of cheerleader and a lot of coach assistants. So brilliant coaching and cheering fans are going for him, most probably, which it's great because it's going to, it has some chemistry with all the rerolls. So having an advantage on rerolls on your team sometimes is just game changing because your opponent knows he has to save his rerolls while you can just go hard on them, especially when you are when you're in defense. When you're in defense, you want to use your reroll to be aggressive, take the ball, get into the touchdown, and score fast. So let's check his team. We can see a piling on ogre, which is quite daring, a quite daring decision. Instead of break tackle. Piling on means he wants to hit harder, but at the same time, I find it risky in some situations. You know, dirty players, you know, pushes making the right play. It's a foul. Getting your 170k ogre fouled off the pitch because you piled on and you didn't even break armor is painful. It happened to me, and I know that it can be a great huge dealer. Yeah, exactly, Goat. There's a lot about inducement money here. So, yeah, that would say. Also, I'm sorry if I didn't read the chat. I was so focused on not trying to not mess this up that I might have missed some of the messages. I'm sorry about that. Alright, so let's see what his best player is. So, First thing I guess we are all noticing is the huge amount of injuries on this team. We have a movement 4 thrower with with his hips being smashed 2 times. Kinda going to be difficult to pass with him without GFIing, but you can see his skills are on point, and both of his throwers don't care if they're in tackle zones. So yeah, I like this team, and there's a very good reason why I like this team. This is the team of a coach that wants to keep playing his own team and believes in the strength of his team, and you have to respect the fact that he just keeps going through, not caring of what kind of injuries you're getting. Like, it's skills what matters, right? So injuries are just a factor of difficulty, nothing more for him, I guess. I must admit that I would probably cry if I started playing this team, but hey, each to its own strength. So let's see, his best player. That's a difficult choice. Like, this catcher is great, Manu Strong, because he's diving, tackle, sprint, leader, so he's got an additional reroll. You can see this human team is based on reroll advantage all the way. And yes, he has sprint, he has sure feet. He's basically the guy that scores, and when he doesn't have to score, he just stick to people. Doesn't care if he gets hit because he has dodge and block, and he just has a niggling injury which doesn't really affect its potential on the pitch except when he gets hit. And forever, so yeah, I would say he is the one to be keep an eye on because he can be really sneaky to deal with. Let's check his stats. So it's a 6 MVP, 52 matches, which is a lot. 38 successful catches, which is his role, so it's understandable, and 3 injuries inflicted. So, and 28 touchdown score. So yeah, let's analyze this 1,400 yards running. So this is quite the seasonal player. So yeah, and then we have some killing pieces, another piling on with tackle, so this blitzer is ready to just hit stuff, and you can see also this line. This team is just made to hit and really doesn't care if it gets it back. So it's basically Norse better and with armor. All right, but of course, all of this comes at a price. So it's a level 3 stadium called Blood Stadium, but no enhancement. And of course, as every good human team, you can see Spec Magazine showing his banners on all the sides. The team records is quite a bit different from what you would expect from such a hitting hard team. So I would say that Morales is having quite a lot of fun in terms of hitting and in terms of playing the game at its natural state of just having a team, have fun, hit stuff, maybe score, there's a ball, I don't care, and just do whatever you want. Mm. I'm having some connection issues. I don't know if the stream kept through, and I really hope it's yeah, we're still live. I don't know. Okay, Goat is confirming me that the stream is still up. I'm still having some issues. I guess my internet service provider is not happy about how long have I been streaming, so I left to try and cut this short before they cut me off. As I was saying, I hope everything I said about Morales' team the spirits of the game is, and with that I mean like good sports, having fun, just being on the pitch, hit, there's a ball, you don't care, you just have fun. So I do respect this this kind of stats. An 8-14-34, which must be still filled with fun. Okay, so let's see for Morales' story. As I wanted to say, I had some issues on rebel.net today, so I couldn't recover Morales' history. All I know is that he started in Season 11, Division 5C. Okay, and that's pretty much it. So he's been playing for 4 seasons, if I'm correct, and is returning for its fifth. And I wish you a lot of fun, Morales, because your team does looks like it. So yes, that's pretty much everything for the teams. I really hope I'm not missing anyone. And I'm going to check the other things I said I would check. So predictions. Predictions, of course, I close the file. So prediction, after what we've seen today, I would say that there are some scary teams, some experienced coaches, but at the same time, a lot of new coaches which have potential untapped. And when I say untapped, I mean we have no idea of what to expect from them. So, knowing myself, knowing me and my very necromantic Necros team, I would expect to be at mid-table. That's at least my goal. And I would say that for the playoffs and Challengers Cup, I would probably expect to see some of the most experienced coaches which we have in this division. So let's see. I'm sorry if I'm taking this too long, but the file is not opening. Okay, there it is. So I would say Beer Monkey has quite the shot with his Chaos team, with his 12-7-11 team, and like being well-rounded. I don't know him as a coach. I've seen him rerolling a lot of teams, but I do believe he has quite the potential to make it at least to the Challengers Cup. However, and when I say however, I mean considering the rest of the teams, I also do see some of the new teams being able at least to aim and have a good chance at the Challengers Cup now that we still don't have any number to work on. So we have, of course, the Dusk Bunny. Dusk Bunny has had like a great run last season, and his statistics quite confirm it. Like 9 wins, just great. I would expect a lot from him. Also, however, we have Wanchi, and his history as a coach, his history as a Rebel coach, and in general his team. Like it has everything a Chaos Dwarf team wants, and is also one of the scariest one against the other. Then, of course, we have Eringzor, Chubstep, the two coaches with, I guess, this is just my personal opinion, have the greatest wisdom in the Rebel format. Because of course I don't know how much people play in tabletop and outside of Rebel, of course. I would expect a lot from Eringzord, absolutely, and Chubstep as a fairly underwhelming but still full of potential for development team. So all these teams have quite a great shot for the Challengers Cup. If I had to say about the playoffs, of course, still the teams that I said before, and I would say that Eringzord is a great team, and there's not really much I would discuss about until we have better numbers about predictions. which is why I'm going to ask Fiat in the next in the future to add maybe a Discord channel so that you, the players, can make your predictions about the matches. I'm going to try and involve them in the next recap streams. So yes, I would expect a lot of action. I would expect a lot of injuries, especially for the Elves team. I haven't seen too much takeoff, but there's a lot of AV, a lot of low armor value teams. The only chaos teams we have, it's not so scary talking about kills, but it's still ready to develop, of course, and it has like a well-rounded team for being defensive. So while it lacks in killing, it specializes in being defensive, being able to move the ball around with not too much difficulties. Of course, the dices are going to be the main thing for them. Now, before we close the stream, because we're getting to the end of this precap, as I said at the beginning of the stream, we would talk about rivalries. What I mean with rivalries. So, of course, I collected some data on Discord, and I had some for myself, having a lot of returning players and famous players on the stream. And so I like to check a bit um, of the story between these teams and these coaches. So, of course, I'm going to start with me because I'm the host. No, it's just because I went in order like the rest of the stream. So, me and Fiat have a long-standing rivalry, as you might have heard before if you have tuned since the beginning of the stream. Which is quite a long time if you've been here until now. So me and Fiat had a quite long history of me beating him beating me in all of his 3 seasons, and I've played for 6 seasons if I'm correct now, 6 or 7 seasons right now. So we have almost always matched, and I'm waiting to fight against him again. So that's one rivalry set up for a good match. Next, we have in the rivalries still Fiat against Major Byte. So, from what I've heard, Major Byte managed in the last seasons to defeat Fiat with the All Norse lineman team, and Fiat is now looking for a rematch, which I would consider a revenge match, or still rematch in which they will be faced one against the other with fairly balanced teams. So it's going to be very curious to see about this rivalry and how it evolves. Now, as my file is mostly full of him, I have absolutely to talk about Beer Monkey. So, Beer Monkey has played against Herringzord, against Chubstep, and against Morales in the past, and I would expect him to still look for revenge since he hasn't won against none of them. And now he has the chance to, especially with his good chaos team, he has the chance to uh, redeem himself of the honor loss he suffered. So these are 3 matches I'm going to await eagerly and see if Beer Monkey can reclaim his coach honor against these coaches, having the chance to do it in the regular season. Then we got Goat, which should still be here in chat, maybe. I hope so. So we have Goat with him having already played both Chubstep and Zord. As we know, Chubstep and Zord are 2 very skilled and experienced coaches, and I really hope in this replay match, I would say, in this rematch, that you manage to get the win you are hoping for. Of course, Chubstep and Zord are also going to give you a hard time. Oh, okay, sure. You started your own game. Nice. Keeping Blood Bowl up. So yeah, I also hope Chubstep and Zord will have a good time playing against you. And in general, since Zord, Chubstep, and Major Byte and Morales are the main targets for some people. I will hope to see these rivalries growing and maybe make this whole season a lot more interesting. So that's pretty much it for our precap. I touched every point, and I hope you enjoyed this very long stream. I admit I wasn't expecting to talk for 2 hours. My neighbors must be hating me right now. And any tips, suggestions, if there's anything at all you want to talk to me about the stream, about how I can improve it, if you have tips and tricks about OBS, I would be really grateful to hear them, especially tools. I have no idea on how to use tools like Spike or, dice checking tools to see if coach was more lucky or less lucky like we had last season. So anything you can send on my way, it will be greatly appreciated. And I can't wait to see every one of you on the pitch. I'm really eager for this season. I'm really eager to play on my new PC because I'm not saying I bought a new PC for Blood Bowl, but I kind of bought it for Blood Bowl. So yes, I really hope to see everyone. I really hope everyone has a great time, and we will see you there. So thanks for sticking around, thanks for watching, and I really do hope you get some rest now because this has been a very long stream. Alright guys, let me just check my OBS settings like some division banner and removing Blood Bowl. I'm going to be very more smart than this in the next. For now, stick with me. So thanks for watching, guys, and I hope to see you around again. And goodbye.